Hello, this is Mary Bush from Stampin' in the Sand. Welcome to card number 2 in my Watercolor Birthday Blossoms card class to go. If you've subscribed to my card class to go, you have all of the materials that you need to complete our four cards in front of you. If you have not subscribed to my card class to go, you still have some time. So this is our second card in the class. This is the Celebrate You, Have a Beautiful Birthday card. And in the first card that we created for this card class to go, we pre-colored and pre-punched all of our pansies for the 4 cards that we will be making in this series. The pansy comes from the Birthday Blossom stamp set. There is a pansy punch that coordinates with that flower. If you do not own it or did not purchase it with the card class to go, you can use paper snips to cut that out. It will work just as well. You'll just maybe get a little bit closer to your image, but you'll be fine. So for this card, we need a white card base. This is our Thick Whisper white cardstock. Then we have a black layer, and then we have a Whisper white layer. We also have some of our black baker's twine. We have a white oval that has been pre-cut for you. And we have a black ring that has been pre-cut for you. I use the ovals dies to create these. The black oval layer overlays the white background and it forms a nice little frame. So we're going to have that. We'll put that aside. And then I have one of my pansies here that I have colored with Blackberry Bliss and Hello Honey ink. I used my aqua painter on shimmer white cardstock. So there's a little bit of shimmer to the flower, and that's already been punched out and ready to go. So let's get started on our card. I'm going to bring in the Scattering of Flowers stamp image from the stamp set. I've got my archival black ink pad, and I've got some scrap paper. So I'm going to put down my oval here, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, if you don't have archival black, you could also use Stays On black, but because we're watercoloring, you do want a permanent pigment ink as opposed to a water-soluble ink. So we're going to take this and we're going to frame our oval so we will be somewhat off the page. We're going to turn that a little rotation there. And then we're going to stamp again. So now we have a flower frame going around our oval. Actually, I can't put that away. I need it. Then I'm going to bring in my Celebrate You stamp that came with the stamp set, and I'm going to place that in my oval like so. And now I'm going to close up my ink pad because I always seem to have some kind of crisis when I leave an ink pad open. So next I'm going to bring in my tray, my watercolor tray. Now all I've done is brought in a little tray here, a little plastic tray, and inside my tray I have my little cup of water. That's for washing off my aqua painter. I have a folded up piece of paper towel, and I use that to remove excess water from my aqua painter. And I also use it if I want to pick up just a little bit of water on the tip. You can fill your aqua painter with water, and a little bit of a squeeze will push some of the water into your brush. But I don't like to go too heavy with my watercoloring, so a lot of times I will leave this empty and I will just pick up water using my cup of water or my little paper towel here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use just the tip of our watercolor brush here, and I'm going to color just the inserts, flower centers rather, of each one of my little blossoms. You can make them as dark or as light as you wish, depending on how much ink you pick up with your aqua painter. And you can pick up ink on the cover of your ink pad just by squishing it. So by squishing it, you get just enough ink that you can color with. You can also use the ink refills and squeeze a drop or two onto the inside cover. That's another way that I've seen people add some ink to the top of their lid, but I'm perfectly content to squish. So I'm just gonna come along here and finish my centers. Okay, so it looks like I got them all. All right, so it looks like I am done with that. And we can put that away. Move that aside. Okay, so let's clean up our work area a little bit here. I'm feeling a little bit cluttered. All right, so I don't need this anymore. So I'm going to bring in all of the components that I need to complete my card. And I just need to stamp my happy birthday. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so in card 1, I had already created my template for my Stamp-A-Majig for my Have a Beautiful Birthday. This will ensure that my happy birthday isn't crooked. And I'm going to ink that up once again with my archival black. That'll just keep all my black consistent by using the same ink pad, because you know there's gradients of black. And I need my Stamp-A-Majig handle, and this is going to go, as you can see here by my sample, down towards the bottom. I'm going to line it up and make sure it's straight, left to right, top to bottom. Bring my handle in. Okay, put that aside. I always ink this up, put it down, and then ink it up again. I don't know why I can't seem to remember that I already did it once. Okay, so we're going to stamp that. I always take a deep breath because I never know if I'm going to smudge it or catch an edge when I'm rushing. Okay, actually, that didn't come out too bad, did it? All right, so now I can put away my ink pad. Okay, so now we have this complete, and I'm just going to put that aside for just a moment because it is still wet. And I actually need to roll and get some glue. So for my frame, I'm just going to use some Tombow liquid glue. Now you can use your adhesive of choice. If you don't have Tombow, you can certainly use your tape runner, or you can use Fast Fuse, or you can use the fine tip glue, whatever you wish. And I'm just going to get this glue started. Okay, so we're going to lay this frame down over our white oval. Get that lined up edge to edge, like so. And I know you know when you cut your cardstock with the framelits dies, occasionally you get the little black stringies. So don't mind me while I'm sitting here picking them off because they bug me. Okay, so now I have my nice oval here, and I can bring this back in, and I'll use my Fast Fuse on this. Okay, so now I have my birthday panel adhered to my black layer. Now I can come in and I need to tie my twine. And I'm going to tie a bow. So I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times, come in and tie my bow. Okay, so I've got my bow here, and that is really loose, but I can fix it on the back side, so I'm not so worried about it. So now I'm going to come in with my Celebrate You, and I need some dimensionals. So I'm going to place this on the front of my card and make sure it's fairly centered. Then I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to push it up and under just a little bit so that it kind of hangs just to the bottom right of that. Then I can flip this over and add a little bit of fast fuse to the back, and that'll keep that stuck down. All right, so there's my bow. Now I'm going to come in with some more dimensionals. And now this is going to go onto the front of my card. Okay, so now that's on there, and then we just need one more dimensional. That's going to go on the back of our pansy, and our pansy is going to go on the bottom, right about there. So there you have it. I can snip off my little tails, and we have our completed card. Now for the inside of this card, I have not done anything yet. I may go back and add another black and white layer on the inside, or you could, as we did in our very first card, come in with your scattered blossoms and just stamp those directly into the corners on the inside and have that be all that you add to this card. So there you have it. There is card number 2 in my Watercolor Birthday Blossoms card class to go. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you would like more information on subscribing to this class to go, you can visit my blog at www.stampininthesand.blogspot.com. All the details for all of my current classes to go are posted on my blog, and also links to my online store for purchasing the supplies to make these cards on your own. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you for card number 3 in the series, and happy stamping!